Hi, we're Team 4B. We work on the Human-Centric Data Challenge at Hack27. I'd just like to say a thank you to Projecting Success, Rolls-Royce, Leeds, and the Major Project Association for sponsoring this event. We chose the name Signal Before Noise, as this indicates silent human data that is the precursor to the noise that you see later on in a project and its project's data. It's really the canary in the coal mine that is often overlooked. In a world full of AI data, human voice is becoming increasingly important. This is the Signal Before Noise team. We're made up of students on a master's from Bristol University and students Projecting Success's apprenticeship scheme. The challenge. As we see it, there is a gap between traditional portfolio reporting, which misses the early and essential human signals that drive delivery, later risks, and the performance of the project. We must remember it's people that deliver projects, not Gantt charts and risk logs. The approach, as asked, is to capture and analyse the behavioural data from the surveys that we've actively received during the project delivery and visualise these into role-specific dashboards, one for the portfolio manager, one for the project manager and team members, so they have complete transparency of what's going on in the project, and a follow-on dashboard to predict which will be the most successful project. The outcome, earlier intervention into the human side of the project, improved team well-being by having support, a more predictable delivery through human-centric insight. For the solution, we took the survey data provided in 4 drops of Excel and used Python script to create a CSV file. The CSV file had more uniform data, more aligned formatting, which we could then use to drive the visualization. Visualization was done through React.js. They also provided a really great user interface, which is easily customizable. Additionally, we used Claude AI tool to help with the development and prompt us how we could be smarter with our coding. All the files are here on GitHub and also on the shared team site. One of the limitations we did come across was the amount of AI token sizes and the volume that we could have, and of course, the inconsistent data and formatting. Project Team Report 1 is a simple and engaging visualization used to drive the team forward. It looks at using a summary of the data for well-being, team access, and the cognitive load. It also points out strengths and gaps so we can clearly see where we need to improve, how the mood of the team is evolving over time, and actually importantly, how we feel about our solution. This is our team's tracker and we feel really good about this. Also importantly is, why do you need to take action? What are the highlights that your team need to make? We rolled this out to lots of the team leaders and team members and had excellent feedback. Project Report 2 is a look at the personality types of the team, which can be carried out at the beginning of the project. The question we're asking here is, do we have the right balance of the challenge? In this example, we have lots of sunshine yellows and thoughtful blues, but not enough dynamic reds. Will this team deliver? We shall see. Project Team Report 3 synthesizes the disk data and the mood data and provides insight using AI. Importantly, it gives us a written feedback and calls out the key areas for concern and areas to address. The Portfolio Manager Report. Similar to the team report, we've gone for a really impactful visual view of where we need to focus. In addition to this view, we've also included AI insights to allow us to dig deeper. One of the questions of the challenge is, can we predict the winner? Looking at the end state and start state of each survey, we can see how the teams are performing and predict their outcomes. Clearly, this data was in its early stages as the clear winners is going to be signal before noise. One of the major issues that we encountered was incomplete data. So we developed a set of data quality reports which enable us to take action. These are visually engaging. As you can see from this, in survey 3, only 36 people had filled out all 3 surveys of 112 people. Is this a commercial product? Of course it is. Human data is the most valuable data. It's hardly ever captured. It'll enable early interventions in teams, help set the team up for success by understanding the personalities of the team, build better team engagement, and result ultimately in better delivery. Am I convinced? Yes, I will actually be using this for my portfolio going forward. How do you address welfare issues? Our system addresses this with holistic real-time insight on well-being, portfolio level oversight so managers can identify what is and what is not working, and service risks early. It allows targeted intervention and mobilisation of safeguarding groups for well-being. It also promotes transparency and trust throughout the entire team. Question 2. How can you tell if the data is being manipulated? We've got pattern-based detection, Basically, the team mood tracker over a period of time tracks well-being and cognitive load. Any strange trends would show up. We also have anomaly detection. A sharp uplift in mood across consecutive surveys would be flagged as potential manipulation. We've also used statistical normalization. We've also then cross-checked with rankings, compared mood shifts against team ranking movements. Misalignments with the two would raise concerns. And data triangulation relied on trend consistency and correlation checks. We feel our way of tracking this is robust. Question 3. What additions would you make to the survey to derive further insight? Direct feedback from the users. The text and scores are difficult to read, and this impacted engagement. I think that's something we need to address. Simpler interface as well might be useful. That was feedback. So maybe a thumbs up, thumbs down. But let's take this a little bit further than just the survey. How can we automate data pickup? How can we do this without a survey? How can we feed this from Jira or Teams? That's a real game changer. And then how can we integrate the human-centric data with the other data, such as reporting, and really cut open those watermelon reports?